Hello and welcome to another episode of the Chrissie Mayr podcast. We are on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, and SoundCloud. And if you're listening to us on iTunes right now, please give us a 5-star review. Here's a really great review from PDUBS. The title of the review is "This Girl Gets It. She's funny, smart, sexy, and a great interviewer." Wow, thanks. You should check her podcast and her show, The Wet Spot, on Compound Media. Thanks, PDUBS. I like when you guys write in code. Yeah, once again, the album recording went great. It was this past Thursday at Governor's in Levittown. I was really freaking out about it because just when you're kind of a small time independent comedian, there's a lot more to worry about. Whereas if you were affiliated with like Comedy Central, you had management, or you have like a bunch of larger entities taking care of your career. That is not the case with me. So there, of course, I'm working with a few other people, but no huge management firms or anything like that. So there was a lot to worry about with this show, making sure the club had enough people, making sure the audio was all set up, there was just a lot more to worry about other than just my material. So I was kind of anxious going into it, but it went great. We had one show, one take. It went so well. I'm so happy to be having my buddy Aaron Berg producing this album. So many of you have been asking where you can buy it, where you can pre-order, where you can listen. As soon as I know all of that stuff, I am going to let you know. But yeah, we just recorded the audio part of it. So it's being cut up into tracks right now. And I think it'll eventually end up, Sirius XM, Amazon, but I'll have a better idea of that in the coming weeks. So thank you to everybody who came to that show out in Levittown, Long Island, there at Governor's. Really great club. It's now one of my favorite clubs. Everyone there was super helpful, and my host Gino didn't get drunk, so that's really all I can hope for. As I wait for my guest Ashton to join, I'm going to do a quick shout out from my new sponsor here. Let me just get this up on the screen here. I'm really excited about this because it's something that I've wanted to know more about. I'm kind of retarded when it comes to crypto, so I'm actually like really kind of excited about this one. Okay. All right, you guys can all see. Okay. Guys, we've seen so many people making ridiculous money from crypto. I honestly hear about somebody every day making like thousands of dollars from crypto. But did you know that it's easy for you to do as well? The Copy My Crypto membership site shows you the exact crypto YouTubers. His name is James McMahon. It shows you exactly what he holds, and it allows you to copy him. It's like having a big brother who knows what he's doing. You don't need to know a thing about crypto or how to invest. You just simply do what he does. So let me tell you a little bit more about James. He runs the Crypto with James YouTube channel, which despite heavy censorship has over 15,000 subscribers and 1 million views. Since March of 2020, he's told his viewers to buy 26 crypto coins. Had you put in $100 into each one, it would now be worth over $66,000. All right, you tell me now, okay? I wish I had known this back then. Of the 26 coins, his top pick of the year, a coin called Phantom, is currently up around 440 times from when he said. And one call alone has retired a number of people, including guys and girls in their 20s and 30s. Wow. Remember, this is public knowledge. You can go to YouTube and verify this for yourself. So if you'd like to join the 1,300 members who copy James, then stop what you're doing and head over to copymycrypto.com/Mayr. That's spelled Mayr. You'll not only find proof of everything I've said, but my listeners get full access for just $1. You won't find this offer anywhere else, but act fast because this is a new year offer and it will expire soon. That's copymycrypto.com/Mayr. Don't take this offer lightly. He's the real deal. Go visit the site now. Woo! That sounds good. And here is this little copymycrypto.com sign up page. You can discover how 1,300 people, many of whom knew nothing about crypto or how to invest, are building rapid wealth for an early retirement. This is very exciting, especially during a time where so many of us have lost our jobs due to certain mandates. And this is also great for people who are afraid of losing their jobs in the near future. So this is cool. And it's got a couple testimonials here from guys who have made a bunch of money off of crypto. Oh, and this is a little bit about James right here. Okay, so as of November 2021, I've made 342 videos with the aim to help regular people, that's me, retire early by knowing which coins to best profit from. He takes immense pride in not mincing my words and giving my viewers clear advice as opposed to endless theory, so they feel confident where to put their money. Wow. This guy's going to retire at 34. All right. I have to leave before I get jealous. Sounds pretty good, guys. I'm going to check it out for sure. Copymycrypto.com/Mayr. Woo! Isn't it crazy? Like, I don't know if any of you guys have had to try to explain crypto to your parents and they kind of just like immediately dismiss you. I don't know. I still maintain that the baby boomers had it the easiest. I feel like they could have like lived their whole lives without any kind of problems, basically. Well, now a lot of them are dying, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of them got houses pretty easy. Okay. I am texting Ashton to see where she is. Okay. I hope she comes. If not, whatever. It'll just be us. Okay. We're going to talk about this again when Ashton gets here. But I don't know if you guys follow Demi Lovato at all, or if a lot of you guys have just written off celebrities entirely, which is understandable because they're kind of insufferable. Demi Lovato debuts a new spider tattoo on their freshly shaved head. Okay, we are all connected. It was Grandmother Spider who taught us many things. Demi Lovato wrote of the inspiration behind their this is still so hard to say, their new spider tattoo, which they debuted Saturday on their shaved head. Come on now. I feel like this opening sentence is just like, how many times can they say there? Drink every time this article says there. Okay, and here she is. Here they are. With a tattoo on their head. Demi Lovato kicked off the new year with some new ink. I can't believe she's only 29. I feel like this girl has lived a whole life. The two-time Grammy Award nominee, 29, debuted a spider tattoo on their shaved head by celeb favorite Dr. Wu. I guess Dr. Wu is the artist. By Dr. Wu. Now, alchemist Amber, come by and fix my hair. Oh, I guess that's her hairstylist. Lovato joked about their brand new buzz cut. That's never going to get easier for me to say. They documented the process on their Instagram story before showing off the final product and detailing the inspiration, a figure in indigenous American mythology known as Grandmother Spider. I don't know. I'm so curious to see if there's like an MK Ultra undertone to the spider. This is immediately where my mind goes these days. It was Grandmother Spider who taught us many things, Lovato wrote. She taught us about pottery and weaving. She taught us about fire and light and dark. She taught us that we are all connected on the web. Each one of us having our own place in the world. Oh, look at that. That looks creepy. That looks bad. But I don't know. You could always just grow your hair out and then it's gone. So I guess a skull tattoo isn't really that much of a risk at the end of the day. I mean, it looks pretty good, but just like, who the hell would want that on their head? It's like, are you trying? I don't know. I feel like this girl has done a lot of things on purpose to make her look worse. And I find when that happens, it's like oftentimes a cry for help. But who am I? I'm just a regular person with a regular person opinion. Lovato previously revealed another tattoo by Dr. Wu in August, getting the lyrics to musical group Beautiful chorus song in Infinite Universe tattooed on their hand. Love will live forever in the infinite universe. All right. Oh boy. The Dancing with the Devil artist noted that Infinite Universe is the song that represents being 28 for me, as they rang in their 29th birthday in August. Okay, this is interesting. The latest body art comes after a source told People that they quietly completed another treatment program last year following their 2018 near fatal drug overdose. Oh, yeah. I mean, how could that not? I don't know what drugs she was on. I can't remember, but if you're taking enough drugs to have a near fatal drug overdose, you're telling me that's not going to permanently affect you and possibly your decision making for the rest of your life. Ugh. I kind of feel bad for her. Demi is committed to their well-being, and throughout their life, they plan to do regular check-ins and make sure they are putting themselves first, the insider says. Lovato previously ditched the California sober lifestyle last month after revealing that they still drank and smoked marijuana in moderation in early 2021. Sober is the only way. California sober means you just smoke weed and you're not alcohol. I don't know. I've met so many comedians and so many different versions of the program. A lot of them, yeah, smoke but don't drink, and a lot of them just are constantly relapsing. So I don't know, guys. I hope Ashton is coming. I'm not sure what's happening.
I sent you something to look at for now.
Oh, okay. Okay, I just, it's hard to know what's going on with people. Oh, God. Okay, this is a great article. Ew, this is the worst tattoos of all time. Wow, 2022 edition. The year, we're just over a week into the new year, and we already have 2022 edition of world's worst tattoos of all time. Oh God, these people all look like they need help. Okay, this is horrible. This person is lacking eyebrows, all hair. Yikes. This is bad. Is this a tattoo? Is that Brian Stelter? I don't think so. Yikes. Yikes indeed. Not every tattoo artist is gifted. That for sure is right. Not every person opts for cool tattoos. That's true. A lot of people just treat themselves like a canvas, and they have a friend who is just figuring out how to give tattoos. And then I would never be one of those people. If I ever get a tattoo, you would have to be at the top of your game. Like you would need to have like a thorough like Instagram profile full of work. I would need many recommendations. Whew. Okay. They selected 50 tattoos that we consider to be the worst of all time. A boy getting his face tattooed. I thought this was a they for sure. A boy getting his face tattooed with Hello Kitty. Not a good idea. And it looks like he's kind of wearing like either powder or concealer or makeup here. So there's a lot that's wrong that's going on here. Okay. At least have the dog perfectly proportioned. Worst dog tattoo. Oh no. This is poor. What a horrible way to honor Percy's life by giving this horrible tattoo on your back. Ew, yuck. Okay. Okay, who would get such words inked onto their stomach permanently? Oh God, this is a can of Sprite opening up and pouring out to say, obey my puss. I was like, am I going to say this word or not? That's so bad. Okay, this might be the worst one. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I think this came first, and then they're like, you know what would be great? And a great addition to this is, just Sprite. Wow. Okay, maybe do not have the same word inked on your whole body again and again. Such full body tattoos should be avoided at all costs. Oh no. Okay, this is really bad too. Mr. Cool Ice. It says Mr. Cool Ice like about 4 times. No, more than that. Maybe like 6. Twice on each. Okay, once on each hand, once on each forearm, his stomach, his chest. I think on each shoulder. Wow. Yeah, what is he, a billboard? This is not good. Okay. Much like Demi Lovato's spider tattoo on the side of her shaved head, this guy has a whole face tattooed to the back of his head. This guy might want to show that he can see all around, but in reality, he is an all-around stupid, making it the what the hell? This sentence is weird. Making it the funniest, worst tattoo. Yeah, that's hilarious. But again, like you grow your hair out and it's gone, so not that big of a risk. Okay, here's a tattoo of a skull on somebody's leg, listening to headphones, but then there's like a glow in the dark worm crawling through their eyes. No, nobody admire a skull. Okay, these are written so poorly. Okay, that's a really funny bad tattoo. Okay, here's another one. Adding a human face on a tiger body, and that too resembles a lot with Charlie Sheen funny worst face tattoo. Yeah, I think this was like a face first, and then they were like, let's just throw a tiger body on it. It says winning. Oh no. Or maybe this was all done at the same time. It's pretty horrible. Either way. Okay, here's another one. Couple of birds on this gal's stomach. It says, do not try tattoo so much down there. It will hurt a lot and nothing will be fruitful. Oh my God, who wrote this tattoo? I mean, who wrote this article? It's really bad. Okay, this looked like it was okay. Somebody's name, probably a dude whose name that they regret tattooing on their stomach. And they're like, let's just cover it up with a bird. But it's not even finished. Okay, here's another one of this looks like a bike handlebars. And this is on their lower back. That's kind of funny. Like if you're doing somebody from behind, you could put one hand on each hip, really, and I don't know. It will feel like you're like, is this a person who just has sex with virgins and she's like, pretend you're riding a bike? Yeah, I don't know what would possess this person to get this. Even NBA players cannot avoid worse tattoos. Here's a Kobe Bryant tattoo. It is human nature to find amusement in other people's failure. So he has like a sort of hovering crown here with butterflies, and I don't know what that is. Oh, okay. No, I still have no idea. Like a wig. Oh, it says Vanessa. Okay. Ugly tattoos. Outline tattoos are rarely good. In fact, some of them are ugly and the worst. Oh, this is just a guy's stomach. This is stock height. Fuck that shit. This is terrible. This looks like this guy must have done it himself. Yeah, there's bad, like, and it's well done, and then there's bad and poorly done. And this is a guy who he's an amputee. He has his arm amputated, and he's tattooed a toenail onto his, like, stump, basically. That one's pretty good. I think that one can stay. Okay. Cultural appropriation tattoos should never be tried as they can hurt sentiments of people. What? This one says, once you go black, you never go back. And then it says, I heart Africa, and then an outline of the continent. Yeah, it's pretty bad. And it's on a white girl. She didn't need to put the country there. Like, we get it. Okay, 14. Do not have a comic strip tattooed on your body as it won't stay funny for long. I mean, it might stay funny. It's just probably going to fade over time. Yeah, this is just like a lot of blue. This just isn't really well done. It's just a lot. It looks like your arm is like wrapping paper. Okay. I don't know what was the artist on when he inked his animal tattoo. Can you guess the animal? It's okay. This is a lion. Looks like he's cracked out. That's pretty bad too. Yikes. That's so bad. Now I'm curious, like, what bad tattoos you guys all have. Trashy tattoos. One of the worst celebrity tattoos are on the body of Lil Wayne. I mean, I don't know. These all kind of go together. I wouldn't say that. That's the thing. If you have many bad tattoos all together, it works. I would say this works. It kind of like they all go together. It's like I don't really know what any of them really say. Something about breeding. Okay. Oh, this is funny. Okay, this is they've tattooed a dinosaur holding like a piece of meat on a bone, but around this guy's nipple. So that's good. I always like it when somebody tattoos like around a butthole or around a nipple or around like something like that's funny to me. Okay, that's not the worst. And okay, these are 2 South Park tattoos. These people must be dating. It's a couple tattoo. One, oh fuck, I can't remember the name of these characters now. Is it Kenny? I don't know. This looks bad. I really should know their names, but like one is throwing up on the other. That's cute. Young lovers. Oh, okay. All right. Hold on a second, guys. I gotta. Oh, okay. This is bad. This is pretty bad. How many people get eyebrow tattoos? I would advise them not to. Oh, this is so bad. This poor dear. Like, okay, so she shaved them off. Just let them grow back, you know? You don't eyebrows are so low maintenance. And like this chick, she doesn't seem to be, she's like a blonde girl. Her eyebrows, I think, would have been like relatively easy to maintain, she just she probably panicked and was like, "Oh shoot, I shaved them off. I have an interview tomorrow. I got to get these something tattooed on." But then again, why not just use your eyebrow pencil? She probably panicked. Okay. This is number 28. Do not have a to-do list inked on your forearm because it will mean that you are going to do nothing in your life. Oh no, why would you do this? Oh boy. That's kind of funny though. Oh no. This guy's got a face tattoo, but he also has like nubs in his forehead. Facial tattoos are always ugly, should always be avoided. Oh god. Okay, his face is green. And it just doesn't even really make sense. There's random anchors on here. I don't know if he was going for like the lizard effect, but he kind of gave up like 3/4 of the way through. He's probably like, "Oh man, that's bad. He should try to get that removed." Time flies when you're having rum, and then it's a picture of a gun. That's a pretty bad tattoo. But it should have been a rum. It should have been like a bottle of rum on his arm, not just a gun. But I guess he had rum, and the time flew. Oh my god, it's a Mountain Dew neck tattoo, but instead it just says, like, "Do me." Okay, that's really bad. Oh god, this is frightening. If you wish to have a portrait tattoo of your kid, then please find a well-known artist for it. Otherwise, the tattoo will look like this. Yeah, this is very scary. Imagine you're this guy's daughter. You're like, you're gonna get a complex thinking you look like this. Okay, here is one. Actually, this tattoo looks pretty dope. It's God, I can't remember his name, but the main character from Breaking Bad, the guy who like made all the meth. I'm blanking. But that looks pretty neat. I would say that's like the best tattoo on this list. Walter White. Yeah, he's iconic. I would say that one could be taken off. Oh no, and this guy. There's a lot happening here. Okay, this was one of the worst prison tattoo ideas that you can try is this scleral tattoo or the eye tattoo. You're kidding me. This is a tattoo? This isn't just a contact lens? Or maybe just the tattoo that's around his eye. Woo! Yeah, there's no coming back from this. There's no like, "Oh, man, I regret this. Can I try to get a job at the bank?" That would be so painful to have it taken off. Yeah, you just, this guy probably thrives during Halloween. That's probably his high, his peak season. He could get a lot of work working in haunted houses, yeah, scaring kids and such. But yeah, the rest of the year, it's gonna be hard to find work, I think. I think this tattoo came first, this barbed wire, and then he's like, "Nah, it's not good enough. I'm gonna just do my whole half of my head." At this point, why not do the other half of your head too? Oh dear, this is bad. Okay, this tattoo cover up would have turned out good if the ink was used wisely. This looks very sloppy. Ew! Why? It's like, you already have a rose tattoo. Why would you? Oh, okay. Why would you just get it removed? Like, pay the same money and get it taken off. This is a confused looking panther. Wow, this is a lot. Oh my God, Ashton's here. Holy.
I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh, I've been dealing with like the craziest morning. You have no idea. I woke up to 1,000 robocalls. I got doxxed recently.
What does it mean to get doxxed?
Basically someone leaks very private information as a threat with the intention of your information being out there to be used against you. Someone doxed my number and I'm receiving 50 robocalls a day. So that happened. But I've been dealing with that all day, blocking numbers after numbers, making sure I had makeup on for this stream. I'm still kind of like blah. But yeah. Hi. How's it going, everyone?
Welcome. You may have seen her. You may know her from, she's been on the SimCast. I think we've done an episode together prior, but Ashton Birdie, everybody, coming in. I don't know how much you wanted to talk about that, but when we talk about like, oh, you were doxxed, like, how does that go down? Does someone just posts your number to what, like Twitter or something?
It was weird. So like, it's a really tricky situation because the days prior, I was receiving all of these screenshots from group chats of just girls being catty, spreading lies about me, saying horrible things, causing all kinds of drama. You know, the things bitches do in group chats, you know? And
bitches love group chats.
Yeah, I'm not part of a group chat, a single group chat anymore because of it. Just because
you just grow out of it. Like, it feels very much like I'm so much older than you, but I feel like we would use kind of like, I guess maybe Facebook as a group chat thing, like,
but it's
in
a
college
high school
and
thing.
after.
It's a high school thing, and like, you eventually get very bored. Here's the thing. I don't like drama being in my life. I have enough drama as is, and I feel like people might be like, Ashton, but you always have a story about drama every time you go on a stream. And it's like, yeah, because I've lived through too much of it. I have stories upon stories upon stories upon stories, I could tell you. And they don't stop. I don't want there to be drama in my life. I don't want to cause drama in my life. I just want peace. But unfortunately, when you're involved with things such as the internet and your entire persona is out there in the internet, you're going to attract some crazy people because crazy people like to live on the internet.
It's where we are right now. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Hello, chat. How's everyone doing today? Chances are the majority of you probably belong in an insane asylum, but so do I. So
I've done so many podcasts. I've had many guests like in this exact situation or scenario where you're like, I'm like maybe not even in the mood to do a podcast, or like I've done other people's shows where I've like come from something or something has happened and you're like, do I go on? Do I not? Is it helpful? And then I find, like, in my experience, like, you end up feeling better after having talked about it. But I definitely know the feeling that you're feeling right now, because I always compare it to like the day my mom died. I was like, oh, I have shows to do in the city. I had like 2 spots. I had like one in like Lower Manhattan, one in Brooklyn, and I was like, no reason why I can't do these spots. Like, I knew she was gonna die. I knew this was coming. Like just trying to rationalize to myself why I should press on. And like I did one, and it was a super hot mess, really bad. Like it was basically just therapy. I'm like on stage, and the crowd was like, "Why is she talking about this? Is this a bit?" And
the thing is, you should definitely not be involved with the public sphere when you're going through something. I can definitely attest to that, and I can understand like what's like, because people, when you're online, you have all of these people watching you, and you feel like you owe something. Like you feel like you have to constantly keep people entertained, and people expect you to constantly entertain them. And I think what happens is when you're a public figure, people tend to forget, oh, this is a real person. This is a real person who's going through something, who's going through trials. And then when you're on the internet, it only adds to it, because you get things like stalkers. People want to dox you. People want private information. I've had people, one guy who was obsessed with me based in England. I mean, he stalked me, he harassed me, he like followed me to my apartment, he threatened to bring a gun. The dude was crazy.
You lived in England, or he was from England stalking you?
When I lived in England.
Okay.
And even like when I was in the US, he still like would harass me. But he was from England. I had never met this person in my entire life. He was like a 50-year-old man who was convinced that I was his soulmate and he wanted to marry me. And because I didn't love him back, because again, I did not know him and he was a weirdo, he freaked out and he basically threatened me. He attacked me. He accused me of all these horrible things publicly.
Jesus.
And like, this is back when I first got involved. And I didn't realize that the internet isn't real and these people are just crazy and have their own issues. And it really affected me because I'm like, why is this person saying things about me? Like, I really wanted a good fan base and I really wanted, like, you know, to have like a healthy fan base. But like, there's always gonna be crazy people who don't like you for some stupid reason. And this guy, he basically publicly said, well, Ashton's a public figure and therefore she doesn't have the right to have privacy.
Woo!
I'm not running for office. I'm not running for office. I'm not the one dealing with your taxpayer dollars. I'm not the one sending us off to war. Like with politicians, yes, I think we do need to press our politicians because they control the everyday lives of everyone's around us.
They're accountable to so many people.
Yeah. But like, I'm just a YouTuber with like, you know, in like 150,000 people might seem like a lot to people who don't have a YouTube channel. I know, Chrissy, you know, you're on the phone with me, like checking it and you're like, oh my gosh. But like,
yeah, you're crushing it.
But 150,000 is really not that much compared to a lot of influencers who make millions in a day. I mean, I know people who go on TikTok, they just do this all day and then they get 3 million followers within like a month. And it's just how it is.
I wonder if they're like deeply depressed inside because they're like,
well, they're also 12.
Yeah.
So that's that. But those things, even those people deserve privacy. I think even celebrities deserve privacy. I feel horrible for what paparazzi has done. Paparazzi culture. Paparazzi culture is essentially why Britney Spears completely fell apart. It wasn't because she was already crazy. It's because it wasn't even from the workload or maybe her parents, let's be honest. But the paparazzi were a huge component in that. They harassed her. They stalked her. They ran at her with cameras. There were times they wouldn't let her get into her car. And like, I remember when Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber broke up, she just wanted to go to a restaurant and get some food. And people ran up to her while she's in the restaurant asking her about Justin Bieber. It's like, and she's just sitting there like, let me eat my salad. You know, it's this public culture of everybody needs to know everything is so toxic. And like, today I recently called out this girl who, you know, I suspect is the doxer.
We don't know for sure who the doctor is. You have your suspicions.
Yeah, I have my suspicions, and I called her out on it because she, of all the girls in these group chats, she was the one girl who didn't reach out to me. This girl has a history of sending people to bully me, harass me, lie about me. I have screenshots of her lying about me. And I was expecting this girl to come forward and at least say, hey, I don't like you, but I didn't dox you. She didn't once do that. Of all the girls in these group chats, she didn't do it. And I'm just like, I had to call her out publicly because she did not reach out to me until I called her out publicly. And now she's trying to turn it on me and be like, well, you shouldn't make accusations like this. I'm like, I'm not making an accusation. I'm just saying this publicly now because you have yet to come to me and apologize for your behavior or even just say you didn't dox me. That's all she had to do. But she didn't do it until I called her out publicly. And I'm like, oh my God. But that's the thing is people on the internet are psychotic because people want control. People want to evaluate themselves. And people have insecurities. They need people to give them that attention they need. And I think a huge portion of why the internet has been bad for my mental health and like why I don't use it so much as I used to is because it really did affect me. It made me more insecure, if anything. Like, I never realized certain things about my face that I didn't like until I got big on the internet.
Your face is perfect. What are you even talking about?
But that's the thing is, like, I never had an issue with anything on my face until thousands of people pointed out the dumbest things, like my gummy smile, which is like this, like not a big deal at all. I like cried over it for a year because I was like, I need to get gum surgery. I need to get Botox in my lips, or else people are gonna like, I never did it. Thank God, it would have messed up my face. But like, I had people tell me I need a nose job, and like the things I never thought about in my entire life. It's like that scene in Mean Girls where Regina George is like, I've got man shoulders, I've got weird hips, I've got weird like earbuds or something,
like earlobes.
Yeah. And then Katie goes, I have bad breath in the morning.
Which is not even anything.
It's like you never notice these things at all. And then like you go on the internet and suddenly it's like, are my arms okay? Like, am I allowed to wear tank tops? Is my hair too short? Is my hair too long? Like, can people tell that like I put highlights in this year or this month or whatever? Oh gosh, put highlights in this month.
Like, oh my God. First of all, Ashton, like I feel you on the gummy smile bit because like for,
like, watch,
and at this point, it doesn't faze me at all. But like when I first got into comedy, it was like one of the things that people would make fun of me for, and like especially, you know, I roast battles were all the rage a few years ago. I did like 11 or 12 of them, and of course, I would always know to expect some kind of a horse joke. It's like, and after a while, it gets so unoriginal that it doesn't faze you anymore. And just part of comedy and being an internet person in general, public figure, is having a thick skin, and you eventually develop it. And I think of that, all of that, as a blessing, because at this point, like, I have heard every possible insult that could be said about how I look. I had people making fun of my dead mom. I've had people make fun of like boyfriends, friends, you know. So it definitely stings at first, and I definitely feel that part of you that's like, oh, I guess I could spend the money and have like work done. I guess I could, but then you like you have to like back
but then
away
become
from
obsessed with it.
Then you'll
like,
never
you get
stop.
addicted.
And then there are definitely certainly types of girls, like I see like girls in the comedy community, and I see it like they might be somebody who in 10 years will be like, oh my God, they got too much work, or like, oh God, like I'm starting to see
like
the seeds
pillow
planted.
filter on
Like
Instagram, where
they're
like
starting to really get into getting, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna judge. Like, do whatever you want. If you have the money and you're not like going broke, getting work done, do it. If that's what makes you happy, absolutely do it. But I just hate that there's this feeling of like that you need it for your self-esteem, or you're not going to be whole without it. But I feel you on the like, uh, the insults that get thrown at you. Like, they don't all just deflect. Some of them sink in, and you're like, oh man, I guess I should change my appearance. But fuck that. And you also have to keep in mind, there is a lot more people who like you who don't say anything. And you forget about that because you just see the noisy people, and the noisy people are often like the negative. Yeah, you have like positive, there's people in the chat right now complimenting you, but like oftentimes the noisy negative people are what sometimes stick to you, and you just have to like break away, do something else, because you'll just, and I wonder if too, I know myself, like I'm like classic female people pleaser, and I can get into wanting to make everybody happy, but then I have to stop myself and be like, girl, you just have to make yourself happy. So don't worry about all that. And I do think a lot of it comes from jealousy. And I notice like in all these kind of areas of the internet, there's like Liberty Twitter. And I love hearing about like Liberty Twitter drama for you, because it's so similar to comedy drama. And then I also have, like, I don't know if you know Carrie Smith, but I hear from her drama from knitters on the internet that have drama and infighting. So it's everywhere.
It's funny because I just got done filming a video on mean girl behavior, because this entire situation I'm going through is all girls. It's all girls, by the way, which is it's actually fairly new to me. A lot of the drama I've gotten on the internet, being my base is politics. Originally, I'm trying to go back into my comedy, which is also mainly men, but it is the first time I've ever really had to deal with girl drama since like high school. And so I'm watching what this girl is doing, manipulating other girls, and I'm not going to say names, but manipulating other girls and making her do her dirty work and doing all of these different things. It's like Regina George, like it's like Mean Girls. And I watched this really interesting video comparing Regina George to Mao, like a dictator. And everything that these mean girls do is the same thing. They manipulate the masses. They use communication as control. And it's made me realize that a lot of dictatorships, it doesn't have to be just in government. It happens in just our everyday lives. And the thing is, mean girls are always going to exist. I'm so sick of people telling their kids, it gets better, it gets better, it gets better, Tommy. Because the truth is
sometimes it doesn't.
It doesn't. It never does. And the reason why I'm saying it never does isn't because I don't want people to be okay, but because what I'm saying is I was told it gets better, and I thought the bullies just go away. No, what we're supposed to do is toughen up, face our fears, and defend ourselves and stand up for ourselves and take no shit from no one. And I have to say that because I was a kid who was severely bullied in high school. I had blue hair. I skateboarded everywhere. I was in a punk rock band. All my friends were dudes. I was in theater. I was a theater nerd. And like, I grew up in 2012. So like being a nerd was like cool now, but like if you were a certain level of nerd, it wasn't okay. So basically, as long as you were a hot chick nerd, like that was okay. But if you were basically like socially awkward and had a penis, or just, you know, socially awkward in general like myself, then that was bad. I was the president of my D&D club in high school. I was bullied. Like, girls
Dungeons and
made fun of.
Dragons?
Oh yeah, I was the
Whoa.
president of my club 2 years in a row, man. I like still, you know, have like a plaque for it and everything. Girls didn't make fun of me, actually. I mean, well, it was girls, but it wasn't like the cheerleader types you hear about. Like, jocks never made fun of me, cheerleaders never made fun of me. It was always the girls who like smoked weed under the balcony or behind the bleachers and like never did their homework and like would make fun of me because I did do my homework. It was the weirdest situation. But even then, I never understood why people were mean, and I realized it's not even because there's anything wrong that you do. It's nothing to do with you at all. It's the fact that maybe these people are just insecure and have nothing going for them. They have no personality. They have nothing interesting about them, so they have to be mean. Or maybe you're just super weird and you need to figure that out, because for me, it was both cases. I was pretty weird.
Agree. And it's like, we could sit here and talk. Like, I've had female comics on, and one of them, I talked to this girl.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's very good looking and she has had a lot of opportunities. Like, people, you know, that's a whole nother thing. There's people who think she's funny, there's people who think she's not, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And we got into a conversation like, oh, is it hard being like a hot girl in comedy? And then like we do the conversation, and then afterwards the comments are like, oh, cry me a river, you're a hot girl. You know what I mean? Like, ultimately people are like, you're doing great. Like, it's fun to step back and have that perspective,
because like being a female makes it easier, but I don't see it. And like, I make jokes about it all the time about how easy life is for me because I'm a female, I'm a woman. But there are times where I'm still like, because, you know, I want to say because I'm a woman, things are harder. But like,
and I said this to Frank yesterday. I was like, I don't know if things have been made easier to me because I'm a woman. And he laughed in my face. He stepped out of the room. I would have had him like jump in on this. He like laughed in my face. He's like, really, Chrissy, really? You don't think certain things in your life have been made easier because you're like a cute girl? He's like, really? He's like, you know, just naming all these things. Like, do you think you'd have a show on Compound Media as easily if you weren't a cute girl? Like, do you think you just everything that
the tits
kind of
do
worked
help.
for.
The tits help with numbers for sure, but it doesn't stop the fact. For example, like this whole idea that like I remember like when I was going through searching for a husband, like whenever I'm like,
you put that in the internet, you put that into Google, you're like searching for a husband. You're like,
honestly, maybe I should probably help a little situation, but like I just remember being really upset because like I could not find a decent boyfriend. For a long time, all of my boyfriends were cheaters and abusive and horrible and liars. And like my big problem, you know, Lauren Southern was right that every single boy at the time I was dating was an e-boy. Back to that video we did.
Oh, right. They're all internet boys.
They're all internet boys.
They were all the same type. And like people go, oh, Ashton, this is your fault. You must have attracted that. Like you must have manifested this type, you know, like.
But I've had normal relationships. I've had great relationships where we just ended up being different people. I just don't talk about those stories because nobody cares about them because they're boring. That's the fact of like, everyone's like, why always talk about like your bad relationships? I'm like, those make the best stories. Everyone wants to hear about the drama. Nobody wants to hear about, oh yeah, I dated this guy for like a few months and he was really awesome, but we just have different like, you know, differences and whatnot, and we just didn't see our futures lining up. Everyone's like, well, that's a snooze story. That's boring. I don't want to hear that, you know? And so I've had normal relationships, but I will say this, every time I've dated someone who's associated on the internet, they tend to cause problems for me. And maybe Lauren's right. Maybe you should just have one internet person and one normal person. If there's going to be an internet situation involved at all, a public person. For example, Frank's your boyfriend, but like he's not like a public figure. Like he handles things for you.
He handles things. He doesn't like the spotlight or the.
So it works because the problem is in a lot of my relationships, I had one guy who told me I'm not allowed to be online anymore. I can't make videos anymore.
Someone told you you're not allowed to be online.
He told me I couldn't have a job anymore. Well, it's funny because we were out to dinner and somebody was walking their dog because it was an outside thing we're eating. And the guy recognized me from a documentary, but didn't recognize this guy I was dating who had way more YouTube followers, way more of a presence than I did. And then I dated another guy who, you know, famously I have a restraining order against.
Oh, okay.
And this other guy I dated, he would tell people I was using him for clout, but if you look at the numbers, like, and how much traction I was bringing in. It was obvious he was using me for content and like abusing me and whatnot, and trying to get that all. But like, honestly, I'm not saying all men on the internet are bad. There are very good men on the internet that are bad. I happen to maybe have bad taste and I chose the wrong ones. I don't know.
I feel you. I feel like,
but they make good stories years down the line.
They do make good stories, and I think it's easy. It's easier as a woman to like. I know that women are supposed to like do the picking, and that women, we have all these options, right? Like both of our DMs are full of people who want to try to shoot their shot, but like. I just felt like for many, many years, like I would just be like accepting of what came at me instead of seeking out a specific type of guy.
But then you're told women can't chase, the men have to chase. But then we live in this world where like men don't want to, here's the thing, everyone's like, women don't want to get married anymore. Feminism. Honestly, I think third wave feminism exists because men don't want to marry. Like, did anyone ever think maybe it's the men who don't want to marry?
They don't.
Because with the internet and all this accessibility to different women all the time, I'm going back to everything Lauren already said, all of these different women all the time. And even if the guy isn't like online as like a big figure or celebrity or something, like if your boyfriend just has an Instagram account, he can easily find girls via geotag. Like if he's at a club, he can search the club and find out who's taking the most recent pictures and find out who's there and fuck them. I swear to God, it happens all the time. And I had a friend of mine, he admitted, he was like, not only did he do this a couple times to his girlfriend, he like told me it's hard to resist. Like it's hard to stay faithful in a world of the internet. And like, apparently it's a huge issue amongst men. Like,
well, what did Chris Rock say? You're only as faithful as your options.
Yeah.
That's really stuck with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is with the internet nowadays, men just don't want to get married because they have all of these options. Right. And with like the glorification of like having a sugar daddy and OnlyFans, like an older dude can easily just be like, and like, here's the thing. I've met girls who are sugar babies and like, they're not like what I thought what a sugar baby gets. I thought they would get like a ton of, I always like, you see these advertisements, right? You know, like they're super corny, but like, they're always saying like, my sugar daddy pays for my rent. My sugar daddy bought me this and this and this. Every girl I know who is a sugar daddy, they get like $600 per meet. So they're basically like a hooker.
An allowance.
They're basically a hooker, but like calling it an allowance. And it's cheap. It is nothing. So you get like these dudes who are 60-year-old married men who like maybe drive like a cheap Mercedes and then claim they're richer than they actually are. And they swindle these girls with like $600 per second. Which by the way, hookers make like $2,000, $3,000. So those girls are getting
it's a vicious cycle, right? Like I think I can understand why men cheat because they don't feel appreciated at home. And it's like relationships are always a two-way street, just from looking at like how my parents were growing up. Like it wasn't a circuit. It wasn't like they were constantly, you know, planting seeds and then harvesting. You know what I mean? They weren't constantly getting to know each other. They took each other for granted. All of their interests had to do with like getting away from each other. It was not good. And I think maybe it's a generational thing. I think things are changing, but I can understand because my dad was one of these people who couldn't wait to get away from family, from his wife, like just was like always like, I gotta go. So I can understand that. And it's like, you know, you get into these bad habits. Like, what's easier to communicate, to really get into your feelings and be vulnerable and ask for what you need, or be kind of a dick and then like bounce anytime there's a conflict? And so that creates a market or a demand for guys that want quick attention, like want to feel good, want to feel like, oh, they can spend money lavishly on a girl. They like to have like an attractive girl around them who's young, right? Like that feeds their ego. Of course, that's understandable. I could see how most people would want that. And now you have this like demand for these women that like then that creates the demand for like, or the need that like you have these women that like want to be, there's something inside them that they want to be taken care of. They more are traditional in the sense that they want the guy to pay for stuff. And they are younger. So then that like creates a matchup for that. And it just kind of.
But then there's the whole sex and thing where it's like girls feel the pressure to have sex with these men. When really 50 years ago, it's like women had more power, and now we live in a time where men actually have more power. It's like, I hate to agree with the feminists, but maybe they're onto something. Maybe the men. Here's the thing. Hear me out.
Okay.
I don't honestly, honest to God, I agree with them in the sense that the men now control things relationship wise. Because 50 years ago, women controlled everything. Oh, you don't like this? We're not having sex tonight. And that's not a healthy relationship, in my opinion. But like, there was a time where women, they could convince their husband to get them a dishwasher by doing certain things in the bedroom. I'm being honest here.
Yeah, true.
And that was like when there was a wife-husband situation.
And
you're
I think
not
each
getting
of them
anything.
needed each other more. Like
Mm-hmm.
a man needed somebody to take care of the home and the kids because there was no maids really. They couldn't afford to have like a nanny and a maid, and like they needed them to stay at home. And then like the woman definitely needed the man because she couldn't pay for shit. She didn't have a job.
Yeah.
So
and then the man needed the woman because unless he put a ring on it, he wasn't getting anything.
Right.
Which is why people married so long.
For putting out without a ring. That's like
which is why married. But the problem is, then you get girls who are like, I'm going to wait for marriage, right? And then guys will just be like, okay, well, this girl will sleep with me right now, so bye. The problem is that girls almost have to be like on the same page as a society, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to sleep with them until they marry us. We're not going to sleep with them until they marry us. The problem is, one hussy has got to ruin it for the rest of us, so then the rest of us got to sleep with them too. It hopes to keep up with the hussy.
There's a lot.
That's
there's
the
a lot.
problem.
And then there's like the horny people that are just like, I can't wait at all. And I can understand all of it because I can understand why there's so many men out there now. And we talk about like who has more power, men and women. I definitely, generally, I think, men, they're the one that's like, okay, let's date. Let's be a couple. Because like most of the time it's women being like, please, please, please. And then like, hoping that the guy will be the one to like lock it down and be monogamous. But if you're the woman and you try to do that, you're seen as a nag and desperate and all that. So you got to hang back and be cool and have options until they decide that. But I think in the case of a divorce, there is an argument to be made that women have so much power because they can take so much money. They can turn the guy's kids against them. They can be very manipulative. They can just juice the system, the government, the guy.
That's why I just don't agree with legal marriage. I don't. And I honestly, this is kind of like why I'm against divorce, but I'm also against legal marriage in general. Like, why is the government involved with relationship status? That's so weird to me. I'm big on like, what's yours is yours, what's mine is mine. Once we break up, when we're in the relationship, what's mine is yours and what's yours is mine. The moment we break up, what was mine is mine, what's yours is yours. That's just how it is.
And you each pick a kid.
Yeah. Well, or at least agree like, hey, like this is like a good time you can see them. This is a good time I can see them, And I think the problem with legal marriage, when the government gets involved in relationships, it stirs things the wrong way, because there are situations where the judge is just like, okay, kids go with mom, and not realize that the mom is incredibly abusive.
Right.
And there
absolutely,
are so many situations the government messes
the mother. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't imagine if my parents got divorced. My parents are still in the middle of a divorce. If my parents got divorced when I was a kid and I ended up with my mother of all things, I would have not survived for sure. Because my mom is definitely not a motherly type at all, and she was incredibly abusive to me growing up. And that's the thing a lot of judges don't take into effect. It's weird. We live in this world where it's like women are equal to men, but like judges still can't grasp the concept that women are likely to murder, women are likely to lie, women are likely to abuse, women are likely to rape. Like it's this idea that women are equal to men, but only men are the problem. Right. That's the issue I have with this whole feminism thing. However, feminists are onto something when they say it's weird, because you would think feminists would use the concept that men aren't being men, because we live in a world where men aren't being men, and that's a huge reason why feminism exists. Because men aren't being stand-up guys, they're not sticking around, they're not staying in the household, they're not being the leaders of the family like they should be. And that's why that's why you get like these crazy blue-haired women who are out there like, I hate men, because probably one guy screwed her over, and then so she did a whole flip.
Yeah, it comes from a place of hurt and pain. Like, you can compare incels to, like,
Mhm.
crazy blue-haired feminists. It comes from this
They're the
place of,
same
like,
thing.
I can't
They're the
depend
exact
I
same
can't
thing.
depend on someone to not break my heart. Like, the days of meeting someone and being taken care of, I think are kind of over. And the reason why, like, feminism, like, really seduced me in college and throughout my 20s, was really that, because I watched my parents not really be there for each other, and I was like, the lesson was, like, don't rely on anybody to take care of you. So I wasn't, like, really asking money from my parents, and I just I wish I could have, like, found a rich guy and just pursued comedy full time, and, like, even I had a therapist for many years that was, like, kind of suggesting that to me. And I just was like, no, man, like, I'm not. I mean, that would be great, but I have always, until very recently, had a full-time job,
Mhm.
and I don't really talk about it, but, like, I've always worked my ass off in, like, at least two jobs, like,
I've always had 2 or 3
sometimes
jobs
more.
too. I've
And it's
always,
and, like, would
always.
it have been great if I had met a guy right out of college who made a ton of money and be like, "Oh, you're hilarious. Just pursue your dreams." Who knows? Maybe I
Mhm.
could have gotten to where I am now, like, 5 or 6 years ago. Who the fuck knows? But the point is, it's like the message was, don't really rely, and it was actually kind of true. I really did have to keep working and paying for myself, and, who knows, like, maybe I would have had kids years ago if I had been taken care of financially, but just that wasn't the case. So, you just have to we all just gotta, like, do what we have to do,
Mhm.
and, it just feels harder now. Like, I look back to, like, how my grandmother lived. Like, she graduated high school, met my grandfather in a shoe store. She had a high school education, and she was scooped up like that. Like, she didn't have to sweat, like, applying to colleges. She didn't have to sweat, like, what's her major gonna be. She didn't have to be like, "Okay, how many roommates do I have when I move to Brooklyn to, like, start my new life?" You
Yeah.
know? It just was like, boom, done, easy. She got married at 19. It was a wrap, and I don't think she was very stressed out her whole life. So, I don't know, maybe things were better then. And they didn't have social
No
media.
kidding.
No e-boys. My
No
grandfather
e-boys! No e-girls or e-boys. My
Yeah,
goodness.
but,
I
like,
just,
yeah.
like, I always wonder, like, how these, like, YouTube families survive, like,
YouTube families.
oh my gosh, you don't know about, like, oh my gosh, so YouTube families go back to, like, 2010, okay? So this guy named Shay Carl, he had a YouTube family, like, a Mormon family, like 10 kids or something like that, like, and Shay Carl, it was, like, this very, like, wholesome Mormon family. They posted a video every single day of them and their kids, and they had millions of followers. And a few years ago, he got caught talking to a very famous porn star and sharing nudes with a porn star. When she asked him about his son, he was like, "I'm not going to talk to you about my kids. That's weird." She posted all of the screenshots between him and her. She went on radio state. I think she wanted her 15 minutes of fame or whatever, but it doesn't excuse the fact that, like, he cheated. And yeah,
Whoa.
so it basically tanked his entire career because he was running off this whole, like, family man thing, which is like, I wouldn't be surprised if some people in the MAGA world, wink wink nudge nudge, I may know more than I should. A lot of, like, these family man types, like, they 100% scout, like, these TPUSA type events for, like, 18 plus girls, and, like, they totally cheat on their wives. Like,
Uh,
it's a known thing amongst all e-boys. Like, all of these like, not all of them, I can't say that because I know a lot of great married men. Like, for example, it's ironic because Gavin McInnes is, like, the biggest, like, pervert, but he's the most faithful to
but
his
he's
wife.
funny. Meaning, like, he has a funny, perverted sense of humor, and,
But,
like,
like, well,
yeah,
yeah. But, like,
I
he's
think
the
he's so
most faithful
professional.
to his wife.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe Gavin McInnes says this about women on his show. I can't believe he flirts on his show. I can't believe he put a butt plug up his butthole on his show." Like, his poor wife. And it's like, actually, he's, like, the most faithful to his wife out of all of, like, these trad family types. Like, I swear to God, he's, like, the most, like, I love my wife. This is who she is. Like, his wife is his wife is adorable, first of all. His whole
Oh,
family is great. But he's the most faithful to his wife, and, like, he says the raunchy stuff. But then all these guys who are like, "I love my wife," they're either swingers with their wife or they're cheating on their wife. I swear to God. Oh my gosh. The amount of tea I could drop on the Magaverse, it's not even funny.
Well, that's like what we talk about. Like, it feels like there's a lot of constraints, you know? It just the other day when we had the SimCast, and we were talking about Brandy Love getting kicked out of the Turning Point USA event, and I had Savannah Hernandez on, who is a friend who I love. Like, I love her passion, but she was like, "That's it. They shouldn't have allowed her there. Nope, they're she's against
Wait, isn't
all
the
of the
chick from
values."
InfoWars? Wasn't she from InfoWars and then she works
Yeah.
for Blaze now?
Yes.
Yeah, no, yeah.
And
okay.
and I just felt like, okay, and I appreciate her passion, like, and she was like, I don't want to debate, but this is how I feel. Like, Brandy Love's against the message. I'm like, okay, but if we're kicking her out, I just feel like maybe what it means to be as a conservative is too tightly constrained that people are buckling under the pressure or
You
don't
know what?
want. So it's like, if we're not allowing Brandy Love, are we not allowing anyone who's watched porn, which would be everyone,
All
but
of the MAGA men.
but like
all
5
of
people?
them.
Are
But
we
you know
not?
what?
Yeah.
I actually agree with CPAC, or maybe it's a TPUSA event for kicking her out. I agree that they have the right to do that, but maybe like the pro sex worker, like libertarians need to make their own event. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be like that free market annoying person who's like, well, maybe we should make our own event. And honestly, maybe we should do that. Like, I'm not a sex worker. I've never done sex work, despite
Not
what
yet.
people.
No.
Not yet. Yeah, who knows? I might get a little excited. My OnlyFans is like a meme page, and like the most I've ever posted is like a picture of me in a swimsuit.
Wait, what?
My OnlyFans, I use it as like a meme
Oh.
page. So, oh my gosh, did I ever tell you like why I made an OnlyFans?
No, why?
So I've never posted a nude photo like in my entire life. And I remember like just OnlyFans being a huge thing and everyone making memes about it. And I was like, oh my gosh, what if I make an OnlyFans? And I tell people I'm on hard times because it was like during my break of not making videos. I'm on hard times, and I tell them there's a link to my OnlyFans. But when they get to my OnlyFans, there's a picture of me in a nun costume.
So you're like,
and I
teasing.
did that.
Yeah. Oh, you did
and
that.
People got really mad.
Oh, no.
People were like
We
threatening to
demand
sue me.
nudes. Mhm.
People were threatening to sue me because they couldn't see my titties. And I was like, I never said I was going to post nudes. So I've never actually posted a nude. I have posted pictures of me in a bikini before, but like everything else is like memes. That's basically it. It's just like me like trolling and being hilarious. I might put my podcast on there, just because why not? But like it's also it's like the only way I'll ever actually chat with fans, just because my Instagram is blowing up, my Twitter's blowing up. So it's like, if you want to talk to me, pay me. Like I'm not even gonna like, because I get like thousands of people a day who want to talk to me. It's like, yo, I'm like doing so much right now. I'm dealing with so much. Like,
for real. I hear that. I'm gonna go to a couple of soups. Speaking of paying to chat, Russell Hall, the most important thing to know about crypto is the halving cycle. Every 4 years, Bitcoin rewards are cut in half, and that drives a new bull market. Okay, I don't know what
that means, but okay. Thank you for sharing.
It. Russell Hall, some kids are just ugly, not the artist's fault.
Okay.
Celine, hi ladies. Hey Celine, girls in the chat. Elsid, Barrett, Ashton, watched you years ago during your collage days. Glad you're back. You were a big part of my red pilling. I didn't know you were into collages.
Me neither. I guess I am. Actually, no, I do have a collage. It's like it's my manifestation board.
Oh, like a vision board? Okay.
Yeah.
I need to make one of those.
I make vision boards. I do that. I'm cringe.
My vision board is usually just a swimsuit that I bought that's too small that I just hang up and look at for a year.
Next to a picture of a cake.
Yeah.
I get really confused. I always think it's funny when I see like Pinterest boards and like a person has like a board of like all the stuff they want to bake right next to like workout ideas. And it's
so
like
conflicting. Yeah.
I know. Like, are you trying to hurt yourself? Like, what are you doing?
From Celine, it's okay. I always got overlooked by the boys in school too. Oh,
people thought I was a lesbian for a long time, actually.
Why?
Because I dressed like I looked like Garth from Wayne's World.
Okay.
So I'll have to find a picture of me. So I was Garth with blue hair. I had these big glasses that like I never even needed glasses like until like 3 years ago. But like I used to wear like those fake glasses you would get from Claire's. And like my hair was always messy. It had blue streaks in it. I wore plaid tops and like Guns N' Roses shirts and like, Yeah. And my jeans were always saggy because I always bought them like a size too big because I didn't like the tight ones.
Aw,
Yeah, people thought I was a
sounds
lesbian.
cute.
Yeah.
From Julian Borges. Devotion to Christ is the antidote to all this. I wonder if that's it. We've moved away from Christianity as
Join
a
my
country.
OnlyFans to see my pictures in my nun costume. That'll get you to Christ.
Yeah. Russell again. Women control half the money in all the pussy. That's true.
Wait, women don't poop? What are you talking about?
No, meaning like puss.
Oh, okay.
Not unless they're passed out, then it's all you, buddy.
I was like,
Russell Hall. Wait, Gavin McInnes pulled the Jack Murphy? No, he did not.
no.
He's always been so professional every time I've done a show
Always.
with him, and he
will tell you how attractive you are, but then like that's it.
But that's it. Yeah, that's different.
Oh, like
than...
he will say very vulgar things, but like it's just words. That's
He's
basically
just kidding
all
around. That's how it
Yeah.
should be.
Okay,
it's
so
the guys who like don't joke around who I don't trust, to be honest.
Let me tell you what Gavin said to me once we were at a bar after I was on his show back before Blaze bought CRTV. Okay, before everything like was destroyed. Gavin and I were having a beer. I think John Miller was there, if I'm correct. And Gavin's like, Ashton, if I weren't married and I was your age, I would throw you over the bar right now and have sex with you right here. And then he just drank his beer and then talked about how much he loved his wife.
Yeah.
And then I met his wife. Like he's never cheated on his wife. He's never done anything inappropriate. But he makes jokes all the freaking time. And I think a lot of people see that as like a red flag. But it's again, like you said, it's always the people who like are the most vulgar and disgusting who are like
they're all talk. And
yeah,
it's like
they're all talk.
It's good. It's cathartic to joke about these things.
It's like the metalheads who secretly love Care Bears.
Yeah.
There's not a single metalhead I know who doesn't secretly love like kittens and puppies and is like the biggest teddy bear.
Elsid says, sorry, college days.
Oh. Yeah.
Of course.
Of course.
Wait, what were you saying, Frank? I can't hear you.
Speaking of college.
Oh, the comparison of Gavin to Jack is putting something up his ass. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta put something up your butt and see what it's
but
like.
Gavin did it was funny. Jack Murphy did it because he had a article, I guess. I don't know.
It's frustrating. Like I look back at the old Wet Spot show that he was on in September, and I'm like, man, that was the perfect opportunity for him to say, because we were joking about sex tapes, and he could have said, well, I've done some stuff.
I think he also wants to pretend like he never actually did it. That's the thing.
I mean, how do you do that when
you hope to God
so
people don't find the article? It's funny though, because by him freaking out, he made it public. Like I never knew that about Jack Murphy until he freaked out.
I know. I feel bad, but you know what? Like, oh, this is what you sent me, the Shea Tards. This is the guy that you're talking about, the one that cheated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me pull this up on.
Did Frank send it to you?
He sent it.
Okay, cool.
I wish I could understand. My headphones don't really work, so I can't.
I love how every time I'm on here, we're talking about cheating. Yeah, this guy, like he was like huge. I mean, he's still technically huge.
4.8 million subscribers. What the heck is so good about this guy?
He like posts like every single day. He posts every single day. But yeah, there was a huge issue back in I think like 2015, 2016, where I guess like he was flirting with a porn star or whatever on Twitter.
Big deal. That's like most guys, honestly.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, his whole thing was that he was like a family man, right?
Oh,
and
right.
Here's the thing, I guess,
what a cute kid.
I know. Well, he's got like 5 of them or something. But like he was basically giving this whole stitch about how like I'm a family man and I love my wife and blah blah blah. And like I guess he was gonna fly like to the porn star and like have sex with her. And like here's the thing. I think she knew that he wasn't actually going to do anything with her. I think, like, it obviously was over only DMs, and, like, she knew that. But because he shot her down, this is what it looked like to me. Because, here's the thing, when I was younger, I was like, how dare he do that? But, like, knowing how many men just, like, love to slide in DMs anyway.
It's so easy.
You know? Mm-hmm. Like, I look at it like, I don't think he ever was going to actually cheat on his wife physically. You know, I don't think the DMs are okay, but like I think what happened was this porn star wanted to be a little bit more famous than she was, and she knew what she could do. And because he kind of shot her down when she mentioned his kids, because like he's not going to want to talk about his kids with a porn star.
Talk about butthole pleasures, but once you talk about my kids, that's taking it too far.
Well, yeah, it's like why? But here's why would you want to discuss your children with a porn star?
Because guys like to compartmentalize, and like he was talking to her to like feed his ego and like feel good and virile and manly and be like, yes, I could still get it. But once she crossed over into family territory, like he needs to keep that separate, because once those two are together, then he'll start to feel like an asshole. Like, oh yeah, please don't remind me about my family.
But then it was obvious she wasn't trying to do the right thing. It was like you could tell the way she was going on like radio shows and stuff. She was obviously trying to be famous. She was trying to she was desperately trying to get that 15 minutes of fame.
YouTube drama. Adult cam girl with explicit DMs, a distraught wife, and a couple reunited get caught up in Shay Carl's cheating scandal here. Okay, so I guess this is the wife. Oh, she's cute.
His wife is so pretty, but like,
she's very, she's like, she's your wife. You're not supposed to have hot sex with your wife. That's what other girls are for. The story is unbelievable, especially from the original vlogging YouTube family, but it is a lot. Just catch you up on the drama. Back in February, is this last year, 2021?
Wait, what? I thought this was all back in 2015.
Oh, this is 2015. Okay, I just had no idea when this was written.
Okay.
This is years ago. Very married web star Shay Carl Butler of the Shaytards. Why would you call yourself a Shaytard? That sounds like a retard.
So I think
be like, you're being kind of Shaytarded right now. Don't act like a Shaytard.
His reason for it was like he was wearing a leotard as like a joke, and he called it a Shaytard. But I feel like that's just a cop out for people who got offended by like the retard joke.
Okay.
Yeah, but I feel like I think it's like it was the whole thing was just like he calls his kids, like he calls his wife Mommy Tard, and he calls all his kids like Brock Tard and like Princess Tard and Baby
here's
Tard.
Where it goes. Okay, so Colette is his wife, and Aria Nina is the cam girl. The drama began when Nina went public with the affair on social media, tweeting and subsequently deleting DMs from Shay. She even said she has a very compromising video of Butler stroking himself. Aria may have deleted, but fans were quick to screenshot. And it's Shay Carl being like, I gotta finish stroking this. I'm going crazy. Come knock on my hotel room door. I want to bend you over and slide it in your ass. I'll lick and kiss it. Oh, this guy's terrible at dirty talk. And then he puts the tongue emoji. I'll lick it plenty. Get it really soft and anxious. What is going to be soft and anxious? Is he going to be soft and anxious? Is she going to be soft and anxious? Is not something you want to be in the bedroom. Soft, that's definitely bad. Anxious, that's bad. If he's used to women being soft and anxious when they have sex with him, like that should tell you everything you need to know about this guy. Make you want to hold me down and sit on my face. This is a lot of mixed signals here. So I can't breathe. He wants to pull a George Floyd in the bedroom. I don't think so. I don't think this is going to be a good time.
Oh my God.
So like, hold me down so I can't breathe. Ugh, he's all over the place. No wonder. Your wife's probably like, you fucking suck at dirty talk. Yowza. While appearing on YouTube Keemstar show Drama Alert after the messages were exposed. And you can tell, like, this is like classic dude. He is just like, he sends all these messages out. I think the thing to do is like you send one out, you see if the girl likes it, and then you do a back and forth. He is just like pummeling her with like what he thinks, what he wants, or what he thinks. You know what I mean? You can tell this is all about him. It's just like it's a one-way thing rather than like a back and forth. But what do I know?
Well, to be fair, she is a cam girl. So maybe for all we know, he could have been paying her like a cam girl, and she's just not showing that information.
Paying her to get soft and anxious. That's gonna be. Can we start a new podcast together, Ashton, called Soft and Anxious?
Soft and Anxious.
Who's
Who would be soft? Who would be anxious?
I'd be anxious.
Yeah,
obviously.
I would be soft because I haven't worked out in a while, and you would
I'd be
anxious
anxious because I'm anxious 24/7. Let's be honest.
We could give Diamond and Silk a run for their money. He went on and then got really sexual, and then he became really rude. He said, "Oh, your son Daxton is so cute. Like, I want your baby," which is kind of the most flattering thing a woman can say to a dude. Honestly, there's no higher
Yeah.
compliment than having someone's
But
baby.
here's the thing: if he was paying her as a cam girl, she shouldn't be saying that stuff.
Who knows if he was paying her or not? This could
That's
just be
what I'm
like a
saying. I think she's
flirtation.
hiding information, man. I'm not saying what he did was right, but I feel like she's not trustworthy either, you know?
Right. Clearly, this is a sexual exchange. Like, what is the point of bringing up family?
That's weird.
Yeah. Can I have him? He's adorable. He's like, I don't. This is kind of unclear. You're disgusting. Don't ever talk about my family. Yeah. I mean, it does look bad when you have like this guy cheating, and he goes, "Oh, you crossed the line. You're talking about my family." He was just completely rude. I felt like all he did was that's the thing. This is what
Wait a minute,
happens.
where's the screenshot of that though? Why would the screenshot of the other thing, but not him calling her disgusting?
Right. Yeah, I don't know where that is.
That's weird. I
It's
don't
almost
trust
like
this
it's
hoe.
and that's the thing is, like, we're dealing with human beings here. Like, this guy might have thought, "Oh, great. I can just play with this girl sexually, get what I want from her, get a boost on my ego, feel like, even though I'm a dad of 5, I still got it. I could still get it." But it's like
Yeah.
you're dealing with a human being, so maybe she's getting attached. Maybe she does wanna have a kid of yours. Maybe she is wondering about family life. So it's like you
But she's
can't
also a professional cam girl, so she can't really
you
do
can't
that.
really fault this girl. It's like, you know what? You can't just say, "Yeah, I'm only gonna deal with you in this one way."
It's like if you're like a sugar baby, right? And you're like fucking a dude and you're hooking up with a dude, and then he decides that he wants like a significant girlfriend, and like he wants something serious, and he goes off and dates someone, and then the sugar daddy and the sugar baby's like, that jerk, he left me for someone else, that bitch stole my man. It's like, wait a minute, but you were a sugar baby, like you were strictly
Right.
sexual, like he wasn't in a relationship with you, like what are you? It's basically like that situation. It's like you can't really,
Right.
if you're a sex worker and you're participating in sex work with this person, you can't be really upset about the situation. Do you see what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Like, it
Don't get
wasn't.
attached when you're like
Yeah, you can't. Exactly.
don't be the
Exactly.
thing and then be afraid of
Yeah,
the thing that you were.
don't be the hoe unless you're gonna live up to being the hoe.
Nashe has since verified the messages, but claims Nina baited him with sexual messages first. Yeah, sure, okay. Yeah, like you're a grown ass man. There's no like baiting. It's like
No, he definitely went slid into her DMs. I wouldn't be surprised though if she never actually mentioned his kid. I wouldn't be surprised though if she never actually mentioned his kid, and he
oh,
never called her disgusting, but she decided, oh, what can I get out of this? A cam girl slot with him, or can I get famous from this? Because honestly, every cam girl I know,
yeah.
every
Where
sex work chick I know doesn't want to stay in sex work forever, and they
Mhm.
want to like continue their career off to doing something. And the majority of cam girls that I've met and girls like that, they always want to be like famous. They always like want to expand into like singing or acting or something. It's like it's the typical Marilyn Monroe story. Oh, this person
or
started
like
out
Kim Kardashian. Yeah,
exactly. She started out well, Kim Kardashian's different because she just
famous family.
was an heiress, yeah.
Got a
But
ton of
like
help. Yeah.
it's like, oh well, this actress, she was a stripper, she posted nudes,
Cardi
she did
B,
this.
right? She was a stripper and
Exactly.
then has a
So
music career
so
now.
I think she desperately wanted to like be,
Springboard into something bigger.
yeah.
Well, God, okay, that's messy. I think we got the gist of that story.
Yeah.
Damn, though. I want
Salty.
salty. What are your thoughts on Getter? I've heard mixed things. I joined Getter last July.
Oh,
When I
did
feel
you
like
get hacked?
no, I didn't get hacked. I joined it and then like never really posted to it. But Getter
Okay.
got a lot of information, got a lot of attention recently when Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's a Republican from Georgia, she was booted from Twitter, and then that caused a lot of people to turn to Getter, to sign up for Getter. And I think I've never been on Gab, but
Nick Fuentes is also not allowed to make a page on Getter. Several people are already being banned or censored on Getter for saying certain things. A lot of people have reached out to me because I work for a social media networking company, which we'll get into fairly soon. But Getter essentially is at fault for not sticking up to their word. They're not they're not fighting censorship. They're not honest with the amount of numbers people are following there. So if you look at Joe Rogan on Getter, it says he's got 8 million followers. Now, Getter doesn't even have a few million people using their platform. But Joe Rogan, essentially what they did was they copy pasted his tweet following and just pasted the number onto his Getter page, which should not be allowed, in my opinion, because that's false advertising to the amount of people who are actually using that site. And if I was using, and as somebody who, you know, has social media platforms, I want to know the demographics and the statistics of every single social media platform that I'm working with. That's how I run my business. If I go to Getter and it's got the exact same number of followers on my Twitter or more, because it includes Twitter and Getter followers, I'm not getting the actual information of what I'm getting done on Getter, what I'm getting done on Twitter.
Right.
I also want to point out that Getter has not only censored and lied to people using their site, but Getter has also a lot of their funding come from not the best sources. A lot of their funding come from this Chinese billionaire who has old ties to informants in China.
Do you know his name?
I have to get his name. I can't pronounce it properly, but he's also, it's also, a lot of it is brought to us by Steve Bannon, who, here's the thing, I've met Steve Bannon, but I don't trust him.
I feel like Steve Bannon looks like he smells like sweat.
He smells like ash.
Oh, he smokes. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if he smokes. I've never seen him smoke, but he smells like ash all the time.
Okay.
And here's the thing. It's like, it's the same way I feel about Roger Stone. It's like, they were cool in person, but we know the shady history they're tied to. Like, for example, I actually like Roger Stone. That's the thing.
He seems cool. I've met him a couple times.
He's very nice. But Steve Bannon, the entire time I was with him, he's like, you should join the military. You should join the military. I'm like, well, I tried.
Wow.
I can't. And I'm like,
why?
Like, why not?
Why did he tell you that?
He's very obsessed with the fact his daughter's in the military, and therefore everyone should join the military or the Marines or something. And I didn't want to say anything, but I'm very anti-war and very anti-industrialized military complex, and he was very confused by that. And on top of that, like, I actually did apply to join the military. And
you didn't tell him that you're a full-time e-girl and you don't have time for that?
No, I didn't tell him that. I did apply to the military out of high school, and they denied me because of autism, actually.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
So they're actually very picky who they take in, because I wanted to be in the Navy like my grandfather. And so, but they said no. You know, and Steve Bannon, essentially, he was like, you should be in the military. You should be in the military. I'm like, no. Like, it was really weird. It was very strange.
Where did you meet him?
I met him in DC. Someone just thought my content was really good and thought I could work for Steve somehow. And just sent me to go talk to him. We had coffee at like this place he was staying at in DC. Or maybe he was visiting in DC. I don't know. It was very strange. But he had like a picture of his daughter, not even framed, like of her like with like this giant gun in her hands, just sitting on the fireplace mantle. And
that's what guys do, though. Guys are bad at framing photos. Like it
wasn't even
my
framed.
Dad,
he's like, see my daughter? She's in the military.
They don't really do
fighting for this country. You should join the military. I'm like, sir, how about no? Like,
my dad had this picture of like, well, he had a framed picture of me and my mom. I always like, this is my favorite family memories, but framed picture of him and my mom. And then when he first started working as a Teamster, one of the first shows he worked on was Sex and the City, like first season. Like probably 98, 99. And then so he had a picture of him and Sarah Jessica Parker. Just exactly the picture, what you're talking about. No frame. He just rested it in front of the photo of him and my mom on the mantle. So yeah, guys don't really frame photos. They're not big on like sentimental or nostalgia.
But it was just like weird. It was just like, but it's like, sir, I'm like, I preach about the like industrialized military complex. The whole reason I wanted to join out of high school. What?
Gray said you were denied for being soft and anxious. Dude, I'm totally titling this episode "Soft and Anxious." That's interesting though that you met him. That's very cool, Ashton.
He's very interesting. He was very odd. But would I trust him running a website that's anti-censorship? Absolutely not. He's a very
Is he
smart
running Getter?
man.
Is he in charge of Getter?
He's not in charge of Getter, I don't think, but he's a part of it
Involved?
somehow.
Okay.
Also, not to mention the founder of it, the CEO is super weird, and I don't know. But basically, the first day of operation, July 4th, 2021, Getter was quote unquote hacked, and a lot of user information was leaked.
Wow.
Yeah, it's Getter is not a good place. It's based also my biggest issue with Getter isn't even all of that. I mean, obviously it's really bad stuff, but it's the fact it's another echo chamber. The whole reason Twitter sucks now is because it's a leftist echo chamber. Twitter is a Trump echo chamber. Like, we need more websites that are very much, they won't censor anyone. If you're left wing, right wing, conservative, liberal, Democrat, Republican, anarchist, libertarian, communist, socialist, there should be a platform for absolutely everyone, because the best part about Twitter was yelling at each other. Like, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. The best part of Twitter was people debating each other all day and having conversations with each other and actually sharing information, which is what I'll get into now, which is the website that I work for, which is called Float. They have 7 simple rules. One is no doxing. You have to be 13 years or older to join. They don't allow child pornography, but they do allow pornography.
Oh, that's nice.
There has to be a hashtag on it that clarifies it's pornography. That's basically it. I know there's more. Oh, there's no spam allowed. That's pretty much it. There's 7 simple rules. Their terms of use is not like this crazy long paragraph that you have to like scope over. Like, it's just a bullet points of 7 different things. And they don't censor anyone, and they welcome anyone left or right to join their platform. And my biggest takeaway from it is, who would you rather, trust, right? The website that's funded by a Chinese billionaire, or the website that's put together by 2 married anarchist hippies who live in an RV in Texas?
That's definitely what this website looks like. So this is at floatsocial.us.
It's at float.app. FLOT.
Float.app?
Yeah, it's FLOTE.
Oops, all right.
FLOTE.app.
Okay. I want to share this other tweet because the first time I ever was made aware of Getter not being that great was from Elijah Schaefer, and he's the one who mentioned to me that Nick Fuentes wasn't allowed, or he was banned off Getter.
Why does everyone hate Nick Fuentes so much? Here's the thing.
I don't really understand him. The only thing I've heard about him is that he seems or is kind of gay, and I'm like, all right.
I mean,
big deal.
Even if you don't like his politics,
yeah,
the answer shouldn't be to ban him. It's not like he's obnoxious. Right. It's not like he's going around harassing people.
Yeah, what's the threat about? Like,
what's the threat of Nick Fuentes? Nick Fuentes isn't annoying.
Yeah.
He just said,
Yeah. So that's what I've been hearing too for years. Oh, he's this horrible person. He triggers a lot of people, or he, like, the same event that Brandy Love was kicked out of, like, Fuentes tried to like bust into the event.
I think it was CPAC.
Oh, CPAC. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't like CPAC.
So
you know what? Nick Fuentes, I don't agree with him on everything. I'm pretty sure he does not like me for the sake that I am an annoying e-girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think he still have the right to have a platform and to say things.
Absolutely.
And it's just like, again, he doesn't spam people. He's not annoying. He doesn't go out into the street and just film people and act obnoxious. It's like, I think people like hear his name and they tie it to the whole Groyper movement. But really, I think Nick Fuentes is the smartest of all of them, because he actually knows what he's talking about. He brings up history references. He brings up statistics and interesting. He actually is someone who can hold a conversation. Not saying anything bad about the Groyper movement.
What are the Groypers?
They're basically trolls.
Okay.
I would say they're basically like they all love Nick Fuentes, but Nick Fuentes is actually very intelligent. And despite me maybe not agreeing with everything he wants to do for this country, he's intelligent. You can't deny that the guy is smart and knows what he's talking about. And I like to listen to him sometimes, because I do, even though, again, I don't agree with everything, it's important to take in information you may not know or understand, or may not even agree with.
From people who you might not like or agree with. Yeah.
Exactly.
And
but it's important to get all different sides and dynamics, and I think he's intelligent enough to give his side properly.
Yeah. And so if it weren't for this Nick Fuentes thing on Getter and me hearing from Elijah, that he's not allowed, I wouldn't have known. And so here is Joe Rogan talking about Getter. And so here's this tweet here from Elijah Schaefer. It's interesting that Joe Rogan is also suspicious of Getter after learning about the Chinese funding, what you mentioned, follower inflation, blocking of political dissidents they disagree with, Fuentes, leftist dog whistles in terms of service, Democrat background of staff, and AWS servers. Does that mean Amazon servers?
Amazon is actually a server for Getter. Yes,
Okay.
I believe that's correct. I know
All right.
for a fact Amazon servers are for Getter.
All right, so
Getter
this
is using Amazon servers. Sorry, I can't. Sentences hard. English hard.
English is hard. Why can't I hear
Oh,
this?
is that Tim Dillon?
Oh yeah, I love him.
He lost weight. Good for him.
He did. Good for him. Wait,
Good for him.
Can anybody hear this? I can't hear it.
That this is mattering to.
Oh, here it goes.
Every day the internet's expanding. It seems to be getting bigger and bigger. And the people that have a platform online, a digital platform, seem to be getting more and more attention. So to me, isn't there an inevitable shift coming to where comics really are just going to have to compete digitally?
I think the digital aspect of it is the best way to promote themselves for sure.
Right.
Whether it's through putting their stuff online on a YouTube or a Rumble or Instagram or whatever they're doing. Like
Or
people,
Getter, which
Yeah,
you're
or
now
Getter,
on. You're on
yeah.
Getter. That's a news story.
I
I'm
might
like,
be a
why
part of
is
the
it a news
Chinese
story?
Communist Party now, I believe.
Yeah. Why are you? It's a news story that you're on Getter.
Well, the news story is their fucking amount of people that signed up increased by 1,150% or something.
Yeah,
something
you have like
funny
20.
ass.
You have like 9 million followers on Getter.
Yeah, it's not real though.
Is it
Because
not real?
Getter doesn't even have 9 million people. No,
Really?
Yeah. It's a lot
So
of
there's
fuckery.
fuckery with that.
This is where the fuckery is. They
Yeah.
take all my Twitter followers. So my Twitter followers like 7.8 million.
You know what's
and then they
ironic about
port those
this
over. So
is
I
that-
started out with 7.8 million.
Oh.
Well, pause
So
it.
whatever I have now, if I
Joe Rogan, he like helped promote Getter. And
Yeah.
now he's calling it out within like the same couple weeks. That's insane.
Yeah. Interesting, right? I want to see what else he says
have
here.
8, it's like really I have 200,000.
So Getter
Yeah.
is fugazi,
Fugazi.
as they say.
Definitely
All right.
fugazi. And every time I post on Twitter, it posts automatically on Getter.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
That's
it's
actually a
automatically
cool
done.
Weird. So it's
feature.
just
I
part of
Yeah, I wish that would do mine like that. I'm just like,
they
oh, what
do
are
that
my...
on mines as well.
Okay.
And I wish they did that on Gab, and the Float is currently working on something similar. That is a cool feature, I think is cool. My issue is with the number copying. That's very
Yeah.
weird.
Because you're making it look like that millions of people are on this app when they're not.
And again, the hacking, the information getting out, the user information being leaked, the fact that communist China is tied together, the fact that Steve Bannon is tied together, the fact that it's an echo chamber. It keeps adding. The fact that they don't even fight censorship because they themselves censor. It's just it's a giant just
A lot of red flags.
so many red flags. I don't like it.
Sting your
Yeah.
tweets.
And I don't know how to get off. Like if I get
I don't know
off
how to
again,
get
I
off.
You have to. You
I
have
don't think
to.
I can.
You have to sit down with Marjorie Taylor Greene
Yes,
personally.
and she's got to tell me all
Yeah.
about what's in the basement of Common Pizza.
She's got to
Oh,
take you down the
I
rabbit hole,
love
and you
it.
come out the other side.
Ah.
Wait, so they won't let him leave? They won't let him leave Getter like it's a cult?
Who knows? Maybe,
Can you delete your account on Getter? If you can't delete your account, that's weird.
who knows?
That's
Maybe there was a deal worked
weird.
out. There was a deal. I mean, he did post to say everybody get on Getter. So who knows if like they gave him money for that? I mean, I can't
But now he's like,
in it.
this is sus. Yeah.
That's funny though. I like the Comet Pizza reference. That's funny. So, but here's the problem. And I think this is going to be the same problem with every new platform that comes about. You're going to need major mega funding to start a new social media platform. And somebody with that kind of money is going to be, I think, politically one way or the other. So how do you're going to find just a neutral billionaire that's going to want to
Yeah. Well,
fund your
just
thing?
a pro free speech billionaire, I
Yeah.
guess. I mean, again, the people who run Float, they're doing it out of pocket basically with a few donors. And they're just a couple of anarchist hippies who are true. I mean, not even anarchist. I mean, I guess like, but they don't like calling themselves libertarian either. So, but they're just very much pro free speech. They want everyone to have a voice, everyone to have a platform. communists, socialists, far right wing, fascist, Republican, Democrat, left wing, all of it. They want a space for everyone. And the problem is that they're not super big billionaires. And I wonder if we're ever, I don't think there are any super big billionaires who actually genuinely care about non-bias and free speech. And that's the issue, is that everything's compromised.
I think by the time you get it, you've made it and you're good. Like, that's what's so kind of amazing about Joe Rogan, for how much money he's worth and how much money he makes and how successful he is. Like, he could totally be a much bigger douchebag. I mean, he's not a douchebag at all. He could totally afford to be an asshole, and he's not. He's still just a regular guy. And so, yeah, I don't know. It seems like most rich people don't really care about anybody who's underneath them.
Yeah.
And it seems that's how politicians are too. Everybody in charge right now. So it's devastating. It's kind of upsetting though, because I was like, ooh, get her, I'm excited. And now we also have Trump's new platform called Truth Social, which is going to debut on President's Day, February 21st.
But then that's just another echo chamber, just Trump people. And the thing is, I like when people get mad at me. Like, I love when I go on Twitter and I'm like, Israel's not our greatest ally. We should stop being in the Middle East. We should stop going to war. Honestly, my favorite part back in my MAGA days was when I would critique Trump and all the MAGA people would come at me like, I thought you were a Trump supporter, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, I would have these honest and factual critiques about a president that I supported for the time. I no longer support him for the many reasons. And I would basically bring up, well, I don't like the fact that he didn't pardon Julian Assange. I didn't like the fact that he didn't pardon Ulbricht or Snowden yet. I didn't like the fact that he continues to send missiles in the Middle East. I don't like the fact that he continues to make excuses for Israel and pretend they're our greatest ally. I don't like it. I don't like the fact that he went against everything he promised he was going to do. In fact, I'm surprised that Trump still has a base based on, not following through with his promises. I'm surprised the alt-right even likes him. I'm surprised libertarians like him, because he hasn't kept any of his promises. It's absolutely insane. And I'm not going to vote for him. I'm probably not going to vote at all ever again, because Trump just proved to me to be a big disappointment.
Really? Ever again?
I don't know. I guess like the government's a sham. It's all I don't want to vote for someone to speak for me anymore.
Right. I think a lot of people don't want to let go of Trump, because it's like, well, then they truly are kind of politically homeless. Like, the people who felt politically homeless and excluded from the conversation for probably their whole lifetime or decades.
I mean, my parents stopped talking to me. My parents stopped talking to me for 2 years. My whole personality on the internet for 2-3 years was, Trump's gonna save us, guys. Trump's gonna save us. And even then, I had to eventually say, you know what? He didn't save us. It's time that I admit that I was wrong. And then when I finally did admit that I was wrong, people got very angry about it. They called me a clout chaser. They called me a grifter. They called me a communist and left, which is funny because all of my principles are still the same. I still support the right to own a gun. I still support free speech. I still support, many of the anti-elite issues that I've always supported. I still support the freedom of press and Julian Assange and Snowden and Ross Ulbricht and all these different things. The reason I don't support Trump anymore is because he did nothing for me. He did nothing for it. It's like, oh, well, about the GDP, Ashton. Yeah, the GDP can suck my dick, because the only people that GDP actually affects are billionaires who continue to preach the trickle-down system, okay? It's all BS. It's all BS.
Yeah.
My values are still the same.
Right.
I don't want to sit here and pretend like Trump helped anyone, because he didn't. If anything, he just paused the situation for a little bit by saying mean things on the internet.
It did feel like a pause. Yeah, and then as soon as he was out, they ramped it all back up again.
Well, and also he ramped up the vaccines. He ramped those up and he pushed those.
Warp speed, yeah.
So it's just, to me, honestly, I almost wonder if they let Trump win in 2016. Because here's the thing, you can't convince people after 8 years of Obama, oh yeah, we're run under a dictatorship after 8 years of putting like this guy on a pedestal just for being black, right?
Mhm.
Let's forget about his drone strikes, guys. Let's forget about Occupy Wall Street. Obama's our best friend who loves the gays. You know, you can't convince a population that they're under attack after 8 years of him. So what do?
Right.
You make a supervillain. You get this guy to come out, run for office, and maybe Trump was in on it, maybe he wasn't. Either way, they twisted his words in the media, made him seem like this big bad wolf, and then next thing you know,
It's
it worked
over.
out perfectly because you got a huge, the whole country was split. One side of the country was like, I love this guy. He's literally Orange Jesus. And the other side was like, I hate this guy. He's literally Hitler. So you basically separate the country into two very polar opposites attacking each other for the next 4 years and causing a lot of dissidents and a lot of people to not communicate with each other. I mean, after Trump's election, families split up. People were fired from their jobs. People were attacking each other in the streets. There was no communication amongst people of different opinions like there was during Obama and Occupy Wall Street, okay? Occupy Wall Street, nobody cared about left versus right. Nobody cared
It was
about
about
that.
classism.
It was about taking
Yeah.
down the banks. Next thing you know, Chase Banks got, look, guys, we've got a gay pride float. We're
Right.
cool now.
We're
you know?
gay now.
But under Trump, it was all about left versus right, which was completely different versus what happened with Occupy Wall Street. And I wouldn't be surprised if Trump was thrown in there after Obama to make people forget what they felt and what it meant to team up together during Occupy Wall Street. Because when Trump was in office, no matter what side you were on, the country was split. And after Trump, it was like, okay, guys, we need to fix this because we need to fix people hating each other. Let's put Biden in there. Let's build back better, as they say. So now, whether you like Trump or not, I still think they let him in there on purpose. I think they let him win in 2016 to rile us up, to make us hate each other and fight each other in the streets, distract us from the bigger problems for 4 years. And then when Biden takes over, it's all about, you know, which again, we're still split up over this vaccine thing. We went from left versus right to vaxxed versus unvaxxed. Like it's all about it's not about left versus right. It's not about Democrat or Republican or red state versus blue state. It is making sure there are two very polar opposite people, two very polar opposite sides in the country who hate each other and attack each other and distract us from what's really going on. That's what this all is about. Okay? The Democrats and Republicans are working together to distract us. That's all this is.
And the more we're divided up into more teams, the less we can kind of come together on certain issues and fight.
Yeah, if you box people up, there's no strength in numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. From K-Max, Ashton. Wow, this is a change up. Ashton, what are your 2022 goals? 1 year at a time. You already made the big move to Florida.
I know. I really would like to. Should I say it?
Yeah, if that's what's in your heart.
I would like to see myself move forward towards marriage to someone in
Find
particular
somebody that you're serious about. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanna get married. Not like obviously I won't get married this year, but like I wanna move towards that like really bad. I mean, I've wanted to get married forever. Like I've wanted to find someone who will marry me forever. I want babies, Chrissy. I want babies like now, like yesterday. But yeah, my goal is just to like honestly find someone. I mean, I already did find someone. And just like focus on that and make a babies with them. That's all.
Yeah. It's good. It's good to be like very clear about what you want. I mean, like I had Lydia Smith on the other day and she was with a guy, she was married to a guy like 7-8 years and he didn't want to have kids with her. So she had to end it. And the guy she's with now, it seems fucking awesome. So
she told me, I asked her because I saw her thing on Twitter and I texted her. I'm like, are you okay? Because you know, I lived with her and she kind of told me about that whole situation with her husband overseas.
Yeah,
because he like
it was really hard.
Yeah, no, she like was only seeing him like 1 month out of the year because he was like living overseas for school. I think he was like studying to be a vet or something. It was really hard on her. Like it really affected her mental health and it wasn't fair to her and she was really trooping through it. But then, and she talked to me and she's like, I feel like me and my husband are just so different. And they married young. Like they married super young. They were together for a long time. So I'm
Yeah.
glad that she's kind of focusing like what she wants right now.
That's good. That's
I
good.
love
Yeah.
her. She's always
I
been
love her
very,
too.
very
She's
kind.
Yeah, she's super kind. Martin number 1, Ashton, I know Lauren Southern didn't want you to say names in the SimCast, but I say expose them all. We stand a problematic chaos queen.
Oh my god, I am the Chaos Queen. Honestly, maybe I should switch my names from Meltdown Queen to Chaos Queen. Although
I
I already
like
call
that.
myself Queen of Droogs, but I mean, yeah, actually, yeah. That is a pretty good. That still kind of goes with the
Chaos
Clockwork
Queen
Orange
sounds
reference.
like that you're in roller derby.
Chaos Queen.
From Elsid Barrett, I think Jack had an exposure fetish. Yes, I was just talking about this. It's when you get a sexual charge knowing you've got weird stuff out there. Google it. I absolutely agree with you 100% because
What?
I'm thinking about like why would somebody have videos of them like doing like sexual acts like online all the while still pursuing like this whole other life, and then when given opportunities to like merge the two, like he didn't do that. He kept it all very separate. And I honestly think part of the kink was in being found out. Like, for what other reason would you not take down those videos? Why else would you be posting sex videos at the same time while you're doing liminal
didn't
order
have
stuff
access to them anymore.
on Chatterbait? No, it was his account. Big Bad Beard
What?
was his account. Yeah. So I do think that part of
Wait,
that
there
was
actually
sexual
is
kink
porn?
of him. Yeah.
I thought that was a
Girl.
joke. I thought the gay porn thing
We
was a
need to
joke.
catch you up. I mean, no, the porn is all with like him and his fiance. I mean, that's a whole other episode.
Wait,
But
he's still posting porn?
I mean, no, I think the latest videos were from February 2019, but they weren't.
That's still like
I don't think
recent.
they were still public. I don't.
Ew.
I'll
Ew.
send you a clip when we're done.
Okay, I also think his beard is fake too. I think that's the most fake thing about him. He always like, it's all natural, guys. It's all
Guy.
natural. It grows out like this, guys. And I'm like, I was talking to my boyfriend about this. I was talking to Clint about this, and Clint's like, that's not natural. That's
Aw.
not. He's going to a salon to dye his beard.
I wish the beard was the most controversial part about him. Russell Hall, I think it's positive that Jay Murphy was filtered out because there's something off about the guy, but I wouldn't want anyone to see those vids either.
Ew.
Russell Hall, invest that sugar baby money. It dries up. Russell again, they say you can judge the quality of a person by their enemies. If the entire power structure hates Trump so much, he can't be all bad. I think a lot of them got their marching orders. Just that we're hating this guy. I don't know how many people are actually like, no, what is the truth? Who even knows? Morgan Babcock, democracy is compelled servitude. Ooh. That should be on a t-shirt. Joey Jojo, Ashton Birdie is great. Thanks for having her on. Beautiful and well-spoken. Goad to see she is doing good. There you go.
It's goad to be good. It's very goad.
Goad for it. Yeah. Joey Jojo is now on the Ashton Birdie simp wait list. Please take a number. Russell Hall, the Murphy links are on Kiwi Farms. Oh boy.
I don't want the links.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to think about it.
Joe Biden gives his State of the Union in about a week. Chrissy and Ashton, what do we call it? Soft and anxious. We should maybe do a live stream of it or something.
Maybe Joe Biden should be president soft and anxious.
Oh my God. Biden makes me feel soft and anxious. That's for sure.
God.
That's very interesting about Float, and I guess we'll see what happens with Getter. I guess I'm gonna still be on it. I will maybe like post occasionally, but I'm not gonna make it my end all be all. I think with everything, you kind of like spread yourself out, cast a wide net, and like if I get booted from Twitter, maybe that'll be a thing I explore more. But it's hard. It's hard to like. It's like we can't put our faith in anything new anymore. It's frustrating. But Ashton, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I'm so sorry I was late. I've been dealing with all
okay.
drama.
Frank is writing something. Ask her to check the link in the private chat. See if you want to address that. Frank's wearing glasses today, which I haven't seen in a long time. He's mixing it up.
Hold up.
Okay, there's a link in the private chat.
It's in the private chat. I can't see the private chat. Hold on.
If you go to private chat, oops. Okay, she just clicked herself out. All right, maybe not then, because she just clicked out.
Well, she
probably Okay. had
to get out to see it.
She doesn't have to get out to see it.
Oh.
All right, guys. This was good. I enjoyed Soft and Anxious. I'm definitely going to check out that crypto thing I mentioned earlier. Yeah, we'll see what happens with Getter. I think I'm going to get on Gab. I've been hearing really good things about Gab. Ashton, do you want?
Yeah, I had to like view it in the right way because for some reason I couldn't see it. So yeah, I did not make an accusation. I said I had a suspicion.
Should I bring it up? Okay, hold on a second. Let me pull this up because
Yeah.
I.
Do you want to pull up my tweets too, since she wants to keep dragging this?
If you want to do a screen share.
I can't do a screen share because I am on my phone.
Okay.
So if you want to go to my account and show mine first and then show hers, fine, we'll go into this. I don't care. Here's the thing. I never accused her. I just said I was suspicious of her because of her doxing me. And the reason why I said I was suspicious of her is because if you have a history of months on end of sending girls after me to attack me and bully me based on lies that you spread about me and getting other girls to do dirty work for you, and then I'm getting all these screenshots of group chats that you are instigating people to bully me in. And I can happily send you the screenshot.
How did this start? So this is something between yourself and Sarah Liberty Thought. When did this start? Were you like friends at one point?
I thought we were friends. I thought we were friends, but this entire time, oh my gosh, this all goes back to the fact that my boyfriend, I'm not going to go into that. My boyfriend hooked up with her, right? And then he decided to date me.
Okay, so before you guys were dating, he was
hooking up with her.
Yeah.
And he told her he was not interested in dating her. She was like seeing 3 other guys at the time. She had sugar daddies going on. I asked her if she had feelings for him when he started pursuing me because I didn't want to step on any toes. She told me she was not interested in him. Let me be very clear. She told him and me not interested. He told her not interested. He was pursuing me. We started dating. And essentially what happened was she went into people's group chats saying how I quote unquote stole her man, all of this crazy stuff, and how I'm horrible. I'm a terrible person. And then she started spreading more lies about me, trying to get other girls riled up. She sent a girl named Astrid after me to bully me. She lied to another girl, claiming I was trying to sleep with her husband when I wasn't. Like all of this crazy ass shit that wasn't true. And so one girl reached out to me and started sending me screenshots from all the group chats that she is saying this stuff in. And at first I was like, whoa, this is like crazy. And then more people started sending me more screenshots. People came forward and said that Sarah was in fact sending people to bully me, and they felt bad because they were lied to about me and that they felt used and whatnot. And so
you have proof that she put your phone number somewhere?
So I even said I'm not accusing her. I'm just suspicious because the very next day after I received all of these screenshots, right? After she had a stream with a lot of the girls that she was in a group chat with, I started getting really weird robocalls. And the next morning, I got a text message from a number I did not recognize saying, hey, your number was leaked in a group chat. I tried calling that number back. It went to like straight to like this robotic voicemail. Then other girls came forward and started basically saying how Sarah was in all of her group chats accusing other girls of leaking, which is ironic because she was leaking personal DMs of me and personal DMs of her other friends in other group chats. And then she was basically getting girls to dogpile on one another in a bunch of different group chats. Then she was talking to other people about the whole situation. And by the way, every single person in these group chats had reached out to me to make sure they knew they didn't dox me and they hadn't seen any doxing.
Okay, so they were trying to clear their own name.
Yeah, but Sarah was the only person who had not reached out to me to say, hey, I don't like you. I did say this about you, but I did not dox. She didn't tell me that. She never once came to me, and that was suspicious to me.
And then here she tweeted, someone is publicly making accusations that they are suspicious I doxed them. Gossip has been going around, but I never doxed anyone. I asked several times for evidence from this person that I doxed them. And so she wants to see evidence, but it's, it's also possible you could.
Here's the thing. Again, I told her I had suspicions based on her behavior. All she had to do was tell me, hey, I don't like you. But here's the thing too. She's also denying other stuff she did, which I have evidence of. And that's what makes it even more suspicious. She's denying she sent girls after me to bully me, but then I do have evidence of that. She's denying that she accused me of trying to sleep with a married man, but I have evidence of that. She's denying sending screenshots around, but I have evidence that she put in screenshots of messages between two friends of hers and claiming they're her own screenshots when they're not. Like, I have evidence of all the stuff that she said, you know, isn't true, but then when the evidence is brought to her, she's like, oh, well, yeah, I did do that, but I didn't do this. And so it's like, I don't know if she put the number in the group chat or whatnot, but the fact that I have all this information of her stirring up group chats and all of these girls coming forward blatantly saying, yes, Sarah told us to go and harass you. Like, I have screenshots of girls coming forward.
If it was me, I would just like stop talking to all these people. Like, honestly, like maybe this is just a getting older thing, but like I have no patience for people trying to ruin my peace.
I just want to know who doxed me.
Okay.
I simply say that she's a suspect. I never once accused her. I say she's a suspect, but I have girls coming forward saying, she told us to bully you. She told us to harass you. And that for me is enough evidence to think, okay, well, that makes her suspect number one. Does it mean I'm actually accusing her and saying she did it? No.
Right.
But it does make her suspect number one because, one, why is every single girl in your group chats coming to me telling me, oh, hey, just so you know, we don't think Sarah did it. But then it's like, then why isn't she telling me that?
Yeah.
She's going to everyone else's group chat saying, oh, we need to talk about this, this, and this, but she's still like, she didn't come to me until I wrote that tweet. She talked to everyone else involved but me until I wrote that tweet.
Yeah, I would just see, I wonder if like, and comedians do this too. They create drama just for views, just for like something to talk about.
And maybe someone else posted it and is trying to pin on her. But she should have said that to me when this all went down instead of trying to save her ass. She was more concerned with saving her reputation with everyone else and didn't come to me. And that's what pisses me off.
Yeah, I would say like just ignore her. You know, like if this person is not making your life better, and that goes for everybody, unless somebody is like wants to contribute to you as a person, whether it's like working with you or your well-being or like giving you an orgasm. You know what I mean? Like unless somebody's going to add to your life in some way, it's just, I wouldn't it's not worth sweating over. Block, mute, do whatever you have to do, but it just seems like all of this is just kind of like stealing your peace.
Yeah, you're right. I just like, I'm annoyed because I'm still getting robocalls. I'm still getting harassed, and I just want this all cleared up. I really do.
Would you change your number over it, or you're just gonna like?
I'm gonna change my number if it keeps going on. I'm gonna change my number. I'm just. Again, I never once officially accused her. I simply say I'm suspicious of her.
Makes sense.
Because all the behavior adds up. And the fact that she didn't just come out to me, because she's known about me getting doxxed since the moment I was doxxed, because I told people, hey, like, it's a little weird that I got all these screenshots from group chats and then this happens. And then from therefore out, sorry, I can't speak English right now. All of these girls started coming to me saying, hey, Sarah is attacking me now in the group chats. Hey, this person's
in these group chats. I'm disavowing all group chats. No more group chats, Ashton.
It's insane. So I'm getting all of these screenshots from like 7 different girls out of 3 different group chats, and Sarah is going into every single group chat. I didn't want to bring up her name. I didn't want this even public, but the fact that like she was going into group chats and accusing all the other girls of leaking and doxing and doing all this stuff, and never once came to me to say, hey, I didn't do it. Yeah, that's weird to me.
Seems like you're just above all of this. And I would just like mute, block, do whatever you have to do. But like just focus on like what you want to create and like your goals, you know?
Damn, I don't want to talk about this too, but Frank, you really pressed me.
This is all Frank. He's doing a shrug.
Frank doxed me. Proven point.
I doxed.
Frank is in the group chat. No.
Frank.
Ashton. God. You're a delight. Tell the good people where they can find you and follow you.
You can find me on Twitter at the Ashton Blaze, on YouTube as Ashton Birdie, and of course on Instagram as Ashton Birdie, and of course, most importantly, on Float as Ashton Birdie.
K Max says we need Lauren Southern's notepad. I am lost without it. I agree.
I know. Only she can save us. Only Lauren can save us.
She has a way of explaining things. Thanks for coming on, Ashton. I adore you. Don't worry. All this drama will pass, and Yeah, just focus on getting pregnant this year. No, I'm just kidding.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, chat, for the super chats and the comments. Until next time, guys. Bye.
Bye.